These three animals invented every sea monster myth: the Kraken, the Leviathan, the sea serpent. What if these legendary monsters weren't completely made up? For centuries, sailors returned from the ocean with terrifying stories of gigantic beasts lurking beneath the waves. And surprisingly, many of those stories may have been based on real animals. In fact, three creatures may have inspired almost every major sea monster myth in history. First, the Kraken was a giant squid. The Kraken, from Scandinavian folklore, was described as a massive tentacled monster capable of dragging ships beneath the sea. For hundreds of years, people assumed it was pure fiction. Then scientists discovered the giant squid. Growing up to 43 feet long, giant squids live deep in the ocean where humans rarely see them. They have the largest eyes in the animal kingdom and enormous tentacles lined with powerful suckers. Imagine being a sailor centuries ago and seeing huge arms suddenly rise from the water. You wouldn't think squid, you'd think monster. Even more dramatic were the battles between giant squids and sperm whales. A sailor witnessing one of these violent encounters would have seen thrashing tentacles, churning water, and a gigantic beast fighting for its life. The Kraken wasn't imaginary, it was a giant squid seen through the lens of fear and mystery. Next, the sea serpent was an oarfish. Long, snake-like sea monsters appear in myths all around the world. And one real animal matches those descriptions surprisingly well: the oarfish. The oarfish is the longest bony fish on Earth, reaching over 25 feet in length. Its body is shaped like a silver ribbon, and it has a bright red crest running along its head and back. Because it normally lives in deep water, most people never see one alive. But if an ancient sailor spotted this shimmering serpent-like creature moving through the waves, the conclusion would be obvious: sea serpent. Its strange appearance is so convincing that even in the 1800s, washed-up oarfish were often reported as actual sea monsters. Finally, the Leviathan was a whale. The Leviathan was described as a colossal beast so enormous it could be mistaken for an island. Sound familiar? That's exactly how a whale might appear to sailors centuries ago. Blue whales can reach nearly 100 feet long, making them the largest animals ever known to exist. Their enormous bodies, powerful blows, and sudden appearances would have seemed supernatural. Sperm whales added another layer to the legend. These massive predators dive thousands of feet into the deep and battle giant squids in epic underwater fights. Even more fascinating, medieval stories describe giant sea creatures floating with their mouths open to trap fish. Scientists once dismissed these tales as fantasy until they observed humpback whales doing exactly that. Sometimes the myths were surprisingly accurate. The Kraken was likely a giant squid, the sea serpent was probably an oarfish, and the Leviathan was almost certainly a whale. These legends weren't invented from nothing. They were real encounters with animals so massive and bizarre that people could only describe them as monsters. And considering how much of the ocean remains unexplored, it raises one question: what other myth are still waiting to be discovered? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know which sea monster surprised you the most.